The story began in a mysterious world hidden thousands of kilometers beneath the Earth's surface, where terrifying creatures ruled everything from the skies to the deepest waters. In this dangerous realm lived its protector, King Kong. One day, Kong arrived at the edge of a lake with a small monkey, completely unaware that he was walking straight into a trap. The little monkey suddenly sensed that something dangerous was hiding beneath the water. Even so, he intentionally encouraged Kong to step into the lake. But Kong was far smarter than the monkey realized. He simply sniffed the air and instantly understood that a powerful creature was nearby. Without saying a word, Kong calmly stepped into the water and began bathing. Meanwhile, the little monkey nervously pretended to drink water, afraid his trick might be exposed. Suddenly, a strange creature rushed toward them at incredible speed. Kong sensed the danger and turned around just as a gigantic dragon lunged at him with its jaws wide open. The little monkey smiled, believing his plan had worked, and quickly ran toward the shore to save himself. Kong had fought every kind of enemy on land, but battling such a monster underwater was completely new for him. Before he could fully understand the dragon's movements, it dragged him deep beneath the lake. But the creature had no idea how terrifying Kong became when enraged. The little monkey thought he had finally escaped Kong forever, but moments later, Kong's giant axe crashed down right in front of him. Before the monkey could react, Kong threw the dragon's severed head at his feet. Terrified, the monkey expected Kong to punish him, but instead, Kong simply picked up his axe and gestured for him to follow. The monkey didn't know that Kong had spent thousands of lonely years wandering this hidden world, searching for others of his kind. He lived hungry and alone, constantly chased by deadly wolves. Whenever hundreds of wolves surrounded him, Kong barely escaped using giant leaps. But one day, the wolves cornered him near a deep cliff with nowhere left to run. The wolves believed the hunt would be easy. What they didn't realize was that Kong had already prepared traps. The moment one wolf jumped forward, the trap activated, sending it into a pit filled with sharp wooden spikes. Kong then hurled a massive tree trunk into the pit. Soon, more traps activated, and giant boulders rolled down the mountainside, crushing many of the wolves. Even after the smoke cleared, a few surviving wolves still refused to back down. Furious, Kong grabbed one of their corpses to display his strength. Yet despite finally getting food, Kong looked unhappy because a rotten tooth in his mouth caused him unbearable pain. Nearby, a lizard secretly stole a piece of meat and ran away. Kong immediately chased after it, but suddenly he heard a distant roar echoing through the valley. For a moment, he believed it might be another member of his species calling out to him. He rushed toward the sound, only to discover once again that he was completely alone. Eventually, the pain in his tooth became unbearable, forcing Kong to seek help from humans. Reluctantly, he entered the human world and collapsed on a mountainside waiting for help. Luckily, scientists discovered him. Frightened by his size, they injected him with a massive amount of anesthesia, knocking him unconscious. Soon, they brought in the world's most famous dentist. Without wasting a second, the dentist tied strong steel cables around Kong's rotten tooth. Kong's terrible breath filled the air as the operation began. Then, as a spacecraft suddenly lifted upward, the giant tooth was violently pulled out. When Kong finally woke up, he discovered that his old tooth had been replaced with a powerful titanium one. With this new tooth, he felt stronger than ever before. But suddenly, an emergency signal arrived from Kong's world. Shocked, the scientists immediately formed a rescue team and entered a portal alongside Kong. Their spacecraft was dragged downward at incredible speed, and within moments they returned to the mysterious underground realm. Back home, Kong discovered that his food had been stolen. Carrying his axe, he climbed a rocky cliff where he noticed a faint blue glow coming from a deep crack in the ground. Curious, he leaped into the darkness below. As he descended, his axe began glowing on its own, revealing strange crystals scattered everywhere. Suddenly, a terrifying roar echoed through the cave. Kong followed the sound past a waterfall and discovered a hidden world beyond. There, a massive shadow appeared before him. Kong immediately raised his axe, preparing for battle. But as the figure approached, it became smaller and smaller. To Kong's surprise, it was not a monster at all, but a small, yellow-furred monkey. For the first time in thousands of years, Kong saw someone who looked like his own kind. Emotional and overwhelmed, he lowered his weapon and offered friendship. But the little monkey suddenly bit him and ran away. Kong chased after him, but then an enormous bald gorilla appeared. Before Kong could react, two long-armed gorillas attacked him from behind. Their leader's smile made it obvious they wanted a fight. Kong fought back fiercely, defeating them one by one. Even when the bald gorilla grabbed Kong's axe, he was no match for Kong's strength. During the battle, the little monkey attacked Kong again, but Kong simply grabbed him and used him as a weapon against the others. Eventually, Kong discovered an entire civilization of enslaved apes ruled by the cruel Scar King. Kong was horrified to see apes forced into brutal labor every day. When Scar King finally appeared, he mocked Kong's steel tooth and demonstrated his cruelty by kicking an ape into molten lava. Enraged, Kong challenged Scar King. A brutal battle erupted between them. Scar King fought cleverly using a crystal-powered weapon, but Kong's raw strength eventually overwhelmed him. Just when Kong seemed victorious, Scar King revealed his ultimate weapon, Shimo, an ancient ice titan powerful enough to freeze the world. Under Scar King's control, Shimo attacked Kong, severely injuring and freezing his arm. Kong barely escaped with help from the little monkey. Later, humans equipped Kong with a powerful mechanical arm to replace his damaged one. But Scar King soon discovered a portal leading directly to the human world. Knowing he couldn't stop Scar King and Shimo alone, Kong traveled to awaken Godzilla, who had been sleeping for years. Unfortunately, Godzilla misunderstood Kong's intentions and immediately attacked him. After a fierce battle, Kong finally dragged Godzilla through the portal into the Hollow Earth, where Scar King and Shimo awaited them. A massive war began. Kong and Godzilla fought side by side against Scar King and Shimo while gravity itself collapsed around them. During the chaos, Scar King escaped into the human world alongside Shimo and unleashed a catastrophic ice storm across Earth. Buildings froze and shattered as humanity faced destruction. Just when Scar King believed victory was certain, Kong returned and smashed one of his massive teeth with a powerful punch. Meanwhile, Godzilla battled Shimo. Then everything depended on the crystal controlling Shimo. At that critical moment, the little monkey found Kong's lost axe and destroyed the crystal with a single strike. The crystal shattered instantly, freeing Shimo from Scar King's control. Furious, Scar King tried to kill the little monkey, but Kong intervened and attacked him. At the same time, the now free Shimo turned toward Godzilla, as if awaiting permission. Then, for the first time in thousands of years, Shimo did what he truly wanted. With one devastating blast, Shimo froze Scar King into a giant ice statue. Kong then lifted the frozen tyrant into the air and smashed him into pieces. The battle was finally over. To restore balance to the world, Godzilla released a massive burst of energy into the sky. Dark clouds disappeared, and sunlight slowly returned to Earth. Afterward, Godzilla returned to his territory and fell back into deep sleep. Kong returned to the Hollow Earth with his new companions, where he finally began a new life alongside his tribe and family.